Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears to a plethora of issues and things that are taking place around us in our cities, states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And I wanted to dedicate this particular video, and my video channel goes to my mother, who passed away back in 1981 from breast cancer and bone cancer. Today is her day of birth, and she would have been 76 years old. And so this is dedicated to my mom, Audrey Cross, who was born and raised in Chicago. And this one involves domestic violence, DV. And I know quite a few police officers through my journey in life. And if you ask them what are the top three most dangerous calls that they get to go be of service to, and one of the scariest, they always say DV, domestic violence, because you never know what you're driving up against. And emotions are heightened. You're generally dealing with a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and many times it could end up very badly. And that's exactly what took place in Ballwin, Missouri, right here in St. Louis, which is a suburb of St. Louis, Missouri, on Sunday. So let's go. Ballwin man murdered ex-wife in domestic violence slaying. Ballwin police have a man in custody for a fatal shooting that occurred overnight last Sunday. According to a spokesperson for the Ballwin Police Department, the shooting occurred just before 1 a.m. at a home in the 100 block of Spring Lee Court. Police arrived at the residence and found a woman suffering from a single gunshot wound to the head. The Metro West Fire Protection District rushed the woman to the hospital, where she later died. The victim's name has not been released. By 11:45 a.m., police had located their suspect, Mr. Zachary Childs, wandering in a nearby creek. Officers arrested Childs without incident. Childs is the victim's ex-husband, and the two had a daughter together, though the victim maintained full custody. The victim had previously obtained an order of protection against him. Police claim Childs broke into his ex-wife's home by throwing a bag of concrete through a sliding glass door. Also present in the home were the victim's boyfriend and their one single child. Childs confronted his ex-wife and brandished a Taurus G3 9mm pistol, according to police. The victim began screaming and fell to her knees, but Childs shot her in the head. Childs ran off, leaving his car parked near the residence. Investigators claim to have found broken glass in Childs' pockets and on his shoes at the time of his arrest. Childs had blood on his clothes, and his shoe tread matched the bloody prints observed in the victim's home. He was also in possession of a Taurus G3, and the rounds in the gun matched the shell casings recovered at the scene. Police claim the victim's daughter, you don't believe this is so sad. Police claim the victim's daughter saw her father standing over her mother's body. Childs confessed to killing his ex-wife during the interrogation. St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney's Office charged Childs with first-degree murder, armed criminal action, and first-degree burglary. Childs remains jailed without bond. And it goes on to say that as far as having resources for domestic violence, it says Cynthia Bennett is the founder and CEO of JDASA, a St. Louis County agency that provides resources for victims of domestic abuse. She said her agency does not receive many calls for help in Ballwin. Just because we don't get a lot of reporting from Ballwin does not necessarily mean that domestic violence is not going on, she said. Domestic violence is everywhere. Bennett said it's important for victims to know that resources are available. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1 800 799 7233. Bennett said the community can help by continuing to provide support for resources and make sure community members are aware that resources are available. I wanted to do this particular video and talk about it because there is starting to be a blurred line between life and death, as I've said in many of my other videos. I'm going to keep saying this. And people are not understanding in how to deal with conflict resolution, conflict mediation. Uh, Even though it does say "till death do us part" when you're married, that does not mean to murder your spouse. And you're having people. This gentleman was like 45 years old. If you have a scenario where you all do not stay married, I mean, the divorce rate is over 50%, you should walk away. You should go faster than you come into the relationship. And nobody is stuck with just you. Um, I talk about the pillars. There's several pillars that are destroying our moral and ethical fabric in our society, and mental health issues is at the top of the heap. Uh, Understanding and having a real forward consciousness on dealing with conflict. A divorce is a big deal. If you think about it, probably the three top things that you'll do as an adult is find a career, a job that you're going to work at to take care of yourself. Get married and that's a business relationship along with a physical and emotional relationship, and have children. Those are three of the biggest things that you may do if you're lucky enough in navigating your way through this life. And so picking the right person or trying to pick the right person and making it work, living with someone, being married to one person for 40 or 50 years has gone by the wayside now. Is very hard to do. But I don't think the answer is, if you're going through a separation and divorce, is to go and murder your spouse or your ex-spouse or ex-wife. What example is he setting for his daughter? And then not only that, he kills his ex-wife, the mother of his daughter, in front of her. She is going to be, that's PTSD at its finest. She is going to need therapy for the rest of her life. And then look at the legacy that he leaves behind. Her mom's dead. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Families are going to talk about it. She will have to explain this narrative forever when people find out that that's what took place between her parents. You're talking long-term therapy. She may even have relationship issues in the future with men, let alone getting married. I mean, this is so destructive. And then it's twofold with the boyfriend and the husband. I think, so there was a protective order, and those protective orders can only do so much. I just did a video yesterday on a guy in Chicago who was 37, 38 years old. The young lady was 33, and she got stabbed, and her son got stabbed to death trying to protect her. And this young lady had a protective order in the state of Illinois against this particular guy. And he still assaulted and killed her son. This young lady had a protective order, again, which can only protect you for so much, through so much, and he still committed this heinous crime. And that is not the answer or the solution to separating, getting divorced, and moving on. Here again, we're blurring the lines between life and death, and our humanity, we're not seeing humanity in individuals. How can you be that callous to one time love this person, have a child with her, build a family, and the next minute you want to kill her? The other part is the boyfriend. I would recommend to every man, there are plenty of women out here. I think it is a no-no to date someone who is going through a divorce, who is married, who has a protective order. This guy that was with her, her boyfriend that was there that saw this, he is lucky he didn't get killed. I would stay as far away from that scenario as possible until that is completely resolved. He is lucky that he didn't end up dead. But This is straight out of Ballwin, suburb of St. Louis. Mr. Childs kills his ex-wife. Tell me what you think. Baldwin man murdered ex-wife in domestic violence slain.